Hey everybody, Toaster here. I just wanted to talk a little bit about a game that Ineffective had in his T30. We're on Sand River, and he's a top tier, so he needs to do a fair amount of damage. So this thing's really slow, so I'm kind of speeding up the start to try and get in position here. And he notices that he's got an RU-251 up on top, and there's not a lot up there. So there are a couple of tanks, but there's not a huge amount. So I don't believe he has 6 cents in this thing. So it would be unwise for him to go too far forward and get proxy lit, because he doesn't know how close he needs to be to get proxy lit. But it looks like the LTG is thinking better of it. So he's just waiting for shots across the way. He's got this set up a little weird because he's got, I don't believe he has the top engine. He has binos on it, which it's mostly a heavy tank, but if once you fire, you got a long reload. So gets a nice shot on that Yike Panther. There's almost always someone that decides to cut that corner, and so he's able to make him pay and get a little bit of assist damage too. So, nevertheless, that's a nice first shot, but he does have it set up a little odd. I think he's got a gun rammer, and I'd have to ask him, but I think he's got a gun rammer, and then of course he's got the binos, and then I don't know what his third piece of equipment is. So he gets proxy lit here, obviously, and Artie's more than happy to punish him. So this thing has a pretty good turret that there is, this cupola is a lot easier to hit than you think, and also the in front of the cupola there's an overmatch area. So if you're above guys, it's kind of okay, but he's just punishing some tier 7s right now because that's the free shots that he has. And like I said, his reload's over 18 seconds, so he's got to take his time here. He's trying to get a shot on this low. The low does fire, but he takes a little bit too long to get into position. And so once he fires here, that low could push him, and he does have a friendly low behind him, so if he missed that shot, undoubtedly that guy would have pushed him and put a bunch of damage into him. But good thing for him, he's got some backup. But there isn't a mill 2 coming, and he would much rather hit that a mill 2. And that a mill 2 is just YOLOing in. He's had enough, I guess. So what he does here is smart. You would think that moving forward would not be the wise. Well, maybe it's not as smart as I thought, but that's okay. He ends up getting the kill. So he's up to 3,500 damage. I mean, he's pretty lit now, but that's okay. There's not much you can do when an autoloader decides that they're going to rush you. So now he's got to be fairly careful. And you can see just how slow the traverse on this thing is, and how hard this thing could be to play on corners. You know, people say play it like a heavy tank, but you see what happens if people decide that they're going to push you. You know, they're going to pin every shot. So I think he felt like he was going to get hull down, but unfortunately he wasn't unable to do that. So he's just setting up in a bush here, trying to wait for shots because he does not want to die. He's got a very dangerous gun. And I'm not sure if this challenger does not have 6 cents or what, but he's able to take that challenger out fairly easily with a nice roll there. So So you're seeing, and that was more of a hope shot than anything, but you're seeing what why you do not want to sit and spawn. You need to take some map control. And this poor Yag Tiger's all alone. So he goes for the track shot, which is smart. Tracks that guy in place, and he's undoubtedly spotted, and so he's moving back and forth to try and avoid Artie. But Artie seems to have their own problems. So late game, a lot of times, Artie will not shoot at you. So he's hold down here so that the Ag Tiger would have to really, really get lucky to hit him and kill him. You can see just how fast damage racks up on this tank. So he's pretty certain that the T25-2 is in the very back, and that would be a pretty good assumption that I would make. But he's still being careful, just making sure that nothing's there. Because there's 4 tanks left, I guess 2 of which are Artie. Let's see if we can get this shot. And that Artie turns just in time to miss that Volkswagen coming at him. Very unfortunate. But it is 12-6. The game's over. It's just a matter of trying to get a little more damage if he can. Pretty thin shot, especially this gun is not super accurate. There you go. Luckiest Artie on the planet, I guess, but that's the way it goes with this tank. It's not very accurate. Even the tier 10 variants of it are not super accurate. So I'm not sure if he gets another shot here or not. He does. He snaps it and hits that 574 damage. So he's up to almost 6,000 damage and a little bit of spotting. So he's got, and I don't think he's going to get anything else because he's just not fast enough. But he's got a 900 assist, 850 assists. So that's the end of the game. 5,700 damage, 800 assist, 4 kills. That's what you need to do as a top tier, so congratulations to Combat. Let's go look at the post-game stats real quick, and we'll go from there. Okay, here we are at the after-action report. We're at, you got an Ace Tanker, of course, a Spartan for bouncing with less than 10% hit points, and not surprisingly, a high caliber. So you do a fair amount of module damage because the shells are so big. Mostly tracking damage in a lot of cases, but was a great game nevertheless. He ended up with 1,273 base XP, which is over 400 above the next guy. Definitely carried the game, and as he should with a tier 9. And he ended up with 40,000 credits, and all 9 shots that he actually connected with actually did damage. So it tells you the gun is fairly good. It's got 276 pen. The trouble is that it's such a slug and it's got no hull armor, so you really have to ridge fight if you can in this thing. Ended up with 3,800 base XP and 380 free XP. Appreciate you watching, and if you'd like to see more content, you can subscribe, hit that like button. If you didn't care for the replay, go ahead and hit the dislike button. Thank you much, and we'll catch you next time.